Gothmog, the lieutenant of Morgul, is a commander we witnessed during the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. But did you know that there was another Gothmog in the First Age?
What did you say?
He was a Balrog of Morgoth, and not just any, but he was the Lord of Balrogs, the boss of Durin's Bane that we see in Moria. But could these two Gothmogs be one and the same? A couple of weeks ago I asked you the same question and a lot of you said that they weren't the same. So why don't we go and dive into the lore of Middle-earth that we all know and love and see if you were right. So let's go and start the video. But before we go and cover if this is actually true, let's first of all take a look who Gothmog from the First Age really was. Gothmog was the Lord of Balrogs, High Captain of Angband, and served the Dark Lord Morgoth during the First Age. He was the most feared Balrog under Morgoth's command because of all the death that he created. He mortally wounded Feanor and slayed Fingon during the Nirnaeth Arnoedad, or the Battle of Unnumbered Tears. So he was responsible for the death of two High Kings of the Noldor, and not only that, but he captured Húrin under command of Morgoth and brought him to Angband after Húrin had slain 70 orcs and trolls. He was later slain during the fall of Gondolin by the elf Ictelion, who was slain as well due to his battle with Gothmog. And you might wonder, if he died during the fall of Gondolin, how could he be alive 6,000 years later? Well, a Balrog is just like Gandalf or even Sauron. They are all Maiar, a spiritual being that helped the Valar with the creation of the world. The Maiar are just like the Valar or even the elves, bound to the world. When the elves die, their spirit goes to the halls of Mandos, or the halls of the awaiting. The elves would be re-embodied and brought back to their kin that lives in Aman. This is clearly shown with the elf Glorfindel. He was defeated during the fall of Gondolin, where he battled a Balrog and sacrificed himself so the others could escape. His spirit departed to the halls of Mandos, but he was in the Second Age re-embodied and brought back to Middle-earth as an ambassador of the Valar. We see a similar moment occur when Gandalf sacrifices himself so the Fellowship can escape the halls of Moria. He kills Durin's Bane, where he also fell. His spirit left his body and returned to Aman, where Eru Ilúvatar personally brought him back as Gandalf the White. It is clear to see when an elf or a Maiar dies, their spirit returns to Aman, although it's not really described in any book. I assume that the spirits of the fallen Balrogs also return to the halls of Mandos, but they wouldn't receive a new body to house their spirit in. They would be trapped there forever. It could also be that the Balrogs would be trapped in the timeless void, just like they did with Melkor. But none of that is sure, these are only my assumptions. What do you think would have happened to the spirit of the Balrog? But let's say that his spirit returned to the halls of Mandos, and say that he could escape and re-embody himself somehow. Then there is still the question, would he work for Sauron? They have known each other from the First Age. They were both high in command when Morgoth was the Dark Lord. But could he have worked for Sauron? Well, honestly, no. You see, the Balrogs resembled their master Morgoth in the case that they want to see the world destroyed, unlike Sauron who want to dominate it and control it. If they would have worked together, first of all, Gothmog wouldn't have worked for Sauron, he would have at least worked with Sauron. But then again, this could never happen because their vision of the world is very different. And Sauron already had a great taste for what it is to be the big boss. But there is something else that Sauron already had a great taste for, even before he became the #1 Dark Lord of Middle-earth, and that is subscribing to the Table of Durin, so he did miss out on any Middle-earth content. So why don't you do the same and hit that subscribe button? So Gothmog, Lieutenant of Morgul, is not the reincarnated Gothmog, Lord of Balrogs. Even if his spirit returned to the halls of Mandos, he would never have a chance to escape. The name Gothmog was only chosen for Sauron's commander to spread fear among Sauron's enemies. But then you might wonder, who was Gothmog? And I see you thinking. You think that he could be an orc, just like he was portrayed in Peter Jackson's adaptation. But you're wrong. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why he couldn't be an orc. So enjoy the next video.